What's up, people? We are getting absolutely flooded with new innovations in tech, with new stuff coming out almost daily. Now, it's hard to think back to some of those products we'd seen in years past that, you know, maybe didn't make it to this day, or it wasn't just their right time. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Products that are still longing for today, and others that really should have just been left in the past. I know I've talked countless times about self-charging e-bikes and where they are. I hear people say things like, "It doesn't seem impossible, cars have got regenerative braking. Surely that's got to be the next leap in technology, where else can they go?" Well, if it were that simple, then why haven't we got self-charging e-mountain bikes? Well, in terms of regenerative braking, the cons would massively outweigh the pros. Well, the weight of the tech required to actually charge even only 1% of your battery would be insane. Unfortunately, there isn't nearly enough force or weight going through our brakes to charge the battery even a slightly significant amount. Well, funnily enough, there have actually been attempts at making self-charging e-bikes. They're hub-driven systems that use pedal and braking power regeneration, but the only caveat to that is they're under 200 watt-hour batteries and they haven't really held up over the test of time. The question is, will we actually ever see a legitimate self-charging e-mountain bike in the future? Back in the day when e-bikes all started first kicking off, it was all about having a massive dashboard. And in some instances, they are still very popular, such as on urban and cargo bikes. The Bosch Intuvia and larger Neon display models are still super popular, but an e-mountain bike? Nah, it's way too much to break. And the launch of the Levo back in 2015, which changed everything with its low-key approach, which many have followed ever since. I mean, who the heck looks at their display in a dirty, wet root system? Full suspension plus tired e-mountain bikes. Now, I can hear you saying, what do you mean by plus? Well, it's anything with a width of 2.6 and above, if you want to categorize it as far as tires are concerned. But it was only back in 2016 where the general consensus was bigger tires, bigger bike, better grip, which was largely true. A plus tire with a shallower tread was generally giving you better grip than a thinner tire with an aggressive tread. And it wasn't so much that it was an issue with the product in this case, but more the fact that the mountain bike industry seemed to have forgotten it. The Scott E-Genius, the original Specialized Levo, the Hi-Bike X-Duro, all supported 2.6 or 2.8 tires. Although some of the plus tires didn't have enough sidewall to give the support needed through fast corners, the comfort and the grip offered was very impressive. On an e-mountain bike, it's actually a really great option to choose a wider rear tire. You know, it helps with stability and really aids with climbing. And with that in mind, I think it's amazing that our partners Pirelli have chosen to remake their 2.8 rear-specific fast-rolling e-mountain bike tire. But this time, it's got great sidewall support. A downhill bike that you can pedal up hills on! Win, surely? But it didn't really catch on, did it? Or did it? To be honest, I'm not really 100% sure why they didn't take off. I mean, I can only speculate that with the geometry and the kinematics of a downhill bike, even electrical power isn't enough to help you up a technical climb with such an extreme geometry. Not to mention that current single crown forks and modern e-mountain bikes are more capable than ever. So who really needs 200 mil of travel on a fork? Having said that, our partners Husqvarna have created a long travel e-mountain bike, the EXC10. Now, we've taken this bike to some of the gnarliest terrain in the world, and the bike still gives you so much comfort and control. It's like riding a magic carpet. To be honest, bikes like the Specialized Kenevo and Kenevo SL could also be considered a downhill e-mountain bike. And actually, the Polyvoima, which is running 190mm travel rather than 200mm travel, is doing very, very well at the EDRE at the moment. It's probably a bit of a mountain bike hangover, considering that downhill is such a specific and specialized category within the sport, that I think most people would opt for a bit more of a middle-of-the-road do-it-all option, to be honest. We live in wild times, electric bikes, electric cars, with even dedicated charging stations that will charge them in half the time normally. But it hasn't really seemed to have taken off in the world of e-bikes, has it? There have actually been a handful of initiatives already to set up e-bike charging stations, and most notably Bosch, but the problem is that really already narrows down the options. They claim to be able to charge around 50% of your battery in around an hour and the remaining 50% in the next 2 hours, which is incredible, but that's fine when you're driving your Tesla and you can sit inside a nice, warm, comfy car. But compare that to being cold and muddy and sat in a cafe, feeling uncomfortable and awkward for 2 to 3 hours. Doesn't have the same appeal. I think the potential in this is huge. But in order to get there, you have to have even faster charging. And to be honest, you need a far wider variety of different charge options available. Talking of charging out and about, do you remember there was a time when you used to be able to buy a dedicated 12-volt charger to be able to charge your e-mountain bike off your car? Whatever happened to those? Now, they didn't stick around long, really, did they? And I have a sneaking suspicion I know why. I actually had a chance to use one of these way back when, and underwhelming is the word I'd use, to be honest. It just didn't have enough power to really make enough of a difference to charging your bike. Now, 12 volts isn't actually a lot, so it's not going to fill up your battery in any sort of haste. I have a thought that it's aimed at sort of the motorhome demographic, and to be honest, when you've got a motorhome, you're far more likely to have solar charging, or to be honest, a generator. Some things were never meant to be, whilst others were just a bit too ahead of their time and didn't quite meet the expectations they set out. What seems like a lifetime has actually only been a matter of a few years with all these new changes and fashions and updates, and to be honest, I think we're going to see history repeating itself and everything coming full circle again. And fingers crossed, hopefully for the best. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We always love to hear your thoughts and ideas, so always leave a comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.